Warren Buffett. The name says it all, right? We all know the success. But do we really know the blueprint? In this explainer, we're going to go beyond the headlines to deconstruct the core principles that really built his empire. We're going to find the secret behind the Oracle of Omaha.
So, let's start with just one number. A number that might just blow your mind. 94%. What on earth could this possibly represent in the world of Warren Buffett?
Yeah, you heard that right. A staggering 94% of his entire fortune was built after he was old enough to get senior discounts. This isn't just a story about getting rich. It's a story about this incredible late-in-life explosion of wealth. And the answer to how that happened is the key to his entire strategy.
So what is this 94% secret? Well, it's not some complex financial formula. It's about a mindset, a secret that was forged not in a fancy boardroom, but in a childhood mistake.
You see, to really understand the billionaire, we have to go all the way back to the boy. The key to Buffett's entire philosophy was locked in during his very first trade, a really painful lesson he learned when he was just 11 years old. Okay, so picture this. It's 1942. A young Warren buys 3 shares of a company. Almost immediately, the stock tanks. You can just imagine the panic, right? But he holds on. He toughs it out. And the second it recovers enough for him to make a tiny little profit, he sells. Phew, right? Huge sigh of relief. But then, the stock skyrockets to over $200 a share. That sigh of relief turned into the sting of a massive missed opportunity, a lesson that would literally be worth billions. You know, this classic rookie mistake actually has a name. It's called the disposition effect. It's this cognitive bias where we're really quick to sell our winners for small gains, but we hold on to our losers for way too long, hoping they'll turn around. At just 11 years old, Buffett had fallen right into this trap, and it would teach him the single most important lesson of his life. And that lesson was understanding the critical difference between 2 words that a lot of people think are the same, but are actually worlds apart: price and value. This one quote from Buffett captures the entire lesson. The price of that stock was swinging wildly, driven by all the market fear and emotion. But the value, the actual quality of the underlying business, that hadn't changed at all. He learned that day that reacting to price made him sell a truly valuable company way too early.
Let's just break this down for a second. Focusing on price is all about short-term emotion. It's speculation, and it leads to panic selling. But focusing on value, well, that's driven by long-term logic. It's about analyzing the fundamental strength of the business itself. You're not just a speculator, you're an owner. One path is just reacting to noise. The other is about owning a piece of a great company.
And when you apply that value over price mindset consistently for decades, something absolutely incredible happens. Buffett calls it the snowball effect, a small snowball at the top of a very long hill.
And the data? Well, it just shows you exactly how that snowball grew. At 30, he was a millionaire. Impressive, for sure, but just look at the acceleration. It took him 22 years to reach $376 million, but then it only took him 14 more years to leap from there to $17 billion. The snowball wasn't just rolling, it was gaining incredible momentum. I mean, just look at this. His entire net worth at age 52 is just a tiny sliver compared to his wealth at 92. That is the unbelievable power of compounding. Value growing exponentially over time. That 94% we started with isn't magic. It's just the simple result of math and decades of patience.
But this financial strategy is only half the story. To stick with it for over 80 years, you need more than a formula. You need a personal philosophy. For Buffett, it's about living by an inner scorecard.
His principles are so consistent, so logical, that they're now being used to train financial AI. This diagram, it's from a research paper, shows a model for an AI agent designed to make investment decisions. The key takeaway here is that Buffett's rational, long-term, value-driven approach provides a perfect logical framework for a machine to learn from. It's a modern testament to the timeless power of his thinking.
So what is this inner scorecard? It's simple, really. Live by your own standards, not the world's. It's why he still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 and genuinely enjoys a simple meal from McDonald's. His personal scorecard was never about accumulating things. It was about accumulating value in a totally different way.
And this is the ultimate expression of that scorecard. He's pledged to give away virtually all of it. The goal was never to accumulate wealth for its own sake, but to allocate it effectively, first through business and then through philanthropy. That compounding snowball isn't for him, it's for society.
So in the end, it's easy to see this as a story about money, but it's not. It's a story about patience winning over panic and value winning over price. It's about a scorecard that measures a life, not a stock portfolio. Which leaves one final question for all of us. What would your inner scorecard say is most important?